Hi there, Chris here with another fresh tip for you all. In this video, we are going to take a look at painting a Skorpekh Destroyer's blade weapon here. And as you can see, the model has already been primed and base coated in a similar fashion in what I had shown in the previous Necron Warrior video. I just pretty much did the exact same thing. First, we're going to use some silly putty here. Any old silly putty will do, and we're going to use this as a masking agent. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mask off somewhat carefully around the weapon, and just to protect the paint job that is existing there. The model was already given a gloss varnish to protect it, so, but this silly putty won't stick anyway. Magenta from Liquitex. This is Quinquitridone or whatever the heck. Anyway, Renegade Badger Chrome we're going to use, and we're going to tear off a little bit of a scouring pad. You can see it's got that little breathy area at the end of it. We're going to use that as our mask, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to take our magenta, concentrate most of our direction towards the back portion of the blade, and spraying through the scouring pad diffuses the effect. And if you hold it really close to the blade, the little texture and detail of the scouring pad will transfer over. And so you can see here I'm having a bit of trouble trying to make sure this stays nice and close. And again, it gives you that kind of cloudy wispiness, and when you really look at it in detail, you can see like little tendrils and stuff. Then here I'm just building up more magenta towards the back end portion of the blade, just to build up some of the color and just kind of get a little bit more happening. I didn't realize at the time I did not have a clear magenta. I really wanted to do this in a clear magenta, but I didn't have it, so I was using this opaque ink, which, does the trick as well. Gray tint is what I'm going to use next. This is golden, and this is a transparency, and basically, it's just really kind of just a dark, clear gray color. It could have just as easily used something like Null Oil Gloss or something along those lines and sprayed it. But I often find with those shade washes that they don't lay down quite as evenly as, say, a deliberate paint versus like the shade wash, which tends to act a little bit more like an ink. So I just use this again, same fashion, and I just build up a little bit of deeper color towards the back portion of the blade. Again, I want the cutting edge of the blade to be brighter, so most of the color gets built up towards the back portion of the blade. You can see there, it's nice and shiny. But you can see that as we lay more color down, and we're going to go with some Prussian blue hue here from Liquitex. This is an ink. This is a really nice stark blue. And really quickly here, we're going to use the same mask, and it really doesn't matter how the mask is laid out. I'm not too concerned with trying to overlap or anything like that, or trying to match up how it was laid out. I'm just looking to create these little wispies along the blade, and immediately which was something I was toying with, was the idea that this is a tempered blade. And when you see metal, that's oftentimes we use the effect on the end of gun barrels and such to create that tempered look on metal. And I was debating whether or not I wanted to do that, but I decided against it. So you can see now that it has a bit of a matte finish to it, and I was, I'm not too crazy about that. So we will correct that in a moment. And I was just demonstrating there that, it's just got a little bit too much matte here. I'm gonna come back in with the magenta. And basically what we're going to do is we're just going to build up. I turned the PSI down. The PSI I've been constantly working at is just under 20, because I'm using this chrome here and the airbrush, and it's a fine needle, and I'm building up nice and close to the model. And so the PSI has been turned down as we're working closer. I didn't mention that before, but now you know. Here you can see I threw a gloss varnish on top. Typically I use Pledge, but whatever your preferred gloss varnish is, whatever works for you. Spastix Mirror Chrome. This is what the model has been base coated in, if you recall from the previous Necron video. And here I'm just going to quickly lay this down on top because I want to build up a bit more of that metallic vibe here. I'm just using something to balance the model in, just so I can get the angle, because obviously I need some free hands here. And I use the stencil just to, again, give me that really cloudy wispiness along the blade. And when laying the silver down on top of the gloss, it comes in nice and shiny, and I highly recommend it. Here I'm just building up a little bit more towards the cutting edge and just at the top corners, but otherwise that's pretty much it as far as laying down the silver. And again, it just kind of knocks back some of that really intense color that was happening. And you can see there how we have this really nice wispy, smoky kind of metallic blade going on. It almost looks like it's heat treated, right? Like where it's tempered steel or, you know, alien metal, whatever it might be. But again, then I threw another quick gloss on top of it just to protect it. I know a lot of varnishing layers, but when you're working in multiple layers like this, it is good to, you know, build up varnishes. I'm going to use titanium white from Golden. This is their high flow line. I'm just going to lay a little drop down onto my palette. I'm going to add a drop or two of Liquitex Flow Aid. This is just to help the paint flow within details, and with a detail brush here, I'm simply just going to move the paint around inside the lines in the blade. And now I want to have the blade basically have this glowiness, and so really quickly here I just lay the paint down real quick. I just wipe it with my thumb, but you will see that there's still some paint along edges and such, and that is not a huge issue because in the next step I'll show you how we take care of that. And you can see real quick I just wipe it with my thumb. Again, because we have so many sealant layers down, we can you know, correct errors later. You can see a bit of white on the lower portion there in that last circle. Fluorescent Pink is next. This is the Golden High Flow. I really like this fluorescent color. I used Vallejo's fluorescent color last video. In this video I'm showing this fluorescent. I really, when I'm doing a side-by-side of these two, this one tops out the Vallejo one. It's just for vibrancy of color. It's really, really fantastic, and it, you know, it just flows nicely on a surface, as again it's a high flow, which is a high pigment, low medium type of or high medium I should say type of paint. You can see already like the effect is really prominent through the blade. I'm going to take a little bit of iso alcohol. This is, I think, 90%. It doesn't really matter. It's iso alcohol and a cotton swab, Q-tip, whatever. Quick dunk into it, and then very gently I'm going to rub the in, trying to keep the direction so that I'm just catching just the high points. Not too many times. I'm not applying a lot of pressure. It's simply just to catch some of those excess points on the raised surface of the blade and pull that excess paint off that surface and clean up those edges. And you can see there at the blade looks nice and clean now. Amethyst Alchemy is next from scale 75. I'm going to use a detail brush here, and this is just going to be used to provide a quick edging along the back portion of the blade. I'm not going to do the cutting edge because I think it would look a little funny if you start to lay a little bit of purple. I don't know if you really notice it because the chrome, like the chrome really does not need any highlighting, but we will do it. And the back portion of the blade is a little bit darker, and so when you're looking at it in certain angles of light, you will really see the edging, and then other times you won't because the ambient light in the room or what have you will, you know, really kind of brighten those corners up anyway. But again, this is just, you know, for aesthetics purpose. White Alchemy is next, and this is going to be for the cutting edge. And I will also dip back into the Amethyst Alchemy because I forgot about the little circles inside the blade. And here really quickly I'm just doing just the cutting edge just to brighten up those corners, and with this really bright metallic here I'm coming back with the Amethyst Alchemy and just doing that raised circular portion on those little details there. It's not terribly important to do, but I just, you know, for completeness sake I figured now let's do it. And realistically, like, here we go. This was after a final varnishing, I do believe. I applied, or maybe I didn't. I don't recall. You do so many varnishings, I kind of forget how many I do. But this is the final effect. It has a nice glowy magenta inside the blade, and in fact, I'm thinking of doing more of these kind of schemes along the Necrons, and in fact, I may do this entire faction that comes inside the Indomitus box set in this fashion, and I'm really digging it. I enjoy it. Hopefully, you guys find this one interesting and give it a try yourselves, or maybe it's inspired you to do something similar with different colors. Who knows? But thank you for watching. Big thank you to all my patrons. Without their support, these videos would not be possible. If you're considering Patreon support, click the link in the description below and it'll take you off to Patreon, where there are varying tiers to support at. And a huge thank you to everybody who currently does. Take care of those brushes and they will take care of you.